kuolewa haukuwa mpango wa Mungu. Twahitaji akili na akili, twahitaji msaada wenu. Baada ya tohara kuolewa haukuwa mpango wa Mungu. Twaumia miri na akili, twahitaji msaada wenu. Njoni sote tupambane. Baada ya tohara kuolewa haukuwa mpango wa Mungu. Twahitaji twaumia mili na akili, twahitaji msaada wenu.
Conduct a road show to raise awareness to the community about the effects of traditions and the customs which are contributing to gender-based violence and HIV/AIDS.
Baada ya tohara kuolewa haukuwa mpango wa Mungu.
It's a song of defiance as these girls stand up against one of Tanzania's darkest traditions, the cutting season. Their relatives wanted to mutilate their genitals to prepare them for marriage, but they have fled to Mugumu Safe House instead. It's a refuge that she herself never had. When she was just 13, she became a FGM victim after watching her friend bleed to death from it.
She underwent the FGM, but she died, and her parents thrown her in the bushes. So it pained me very much. And when my parents asked me to undergo FGM, I can say it's reminded me. But I asked my mother, please, my mother, really I don't want to undergo this practice. And she said, you must undergo. I didn't have any body.
And that's why Ms. Samueli wants every girl to have a place to run to. In the last 2 weeks, more than 160 have arrived on her doorstep. Her team will feed and house them all and give them the best chance at a job or education. But to get here, they have had to flee their own families.
At home they were forcing me to get mutilated so that I can get married. I kept thinking about the effects, and also the man who wanted to marry me is an old man and not a good match. So I refused and ran away to my uncle. But as I ran, I fell and injured my leg. Even now the scars are visible.
FGM remains illegal in Tanzania, but some tribes still practice it. It is considered a rite of passage from when a girl becomes a woman, and it is normally followed by early marriage. Parents want their girls to have FGM because they can fetch a higher value for them when they're married off, often as young as 13 years old. For the girls, though, it's lose-lose. If they survive the mutilation, they often suffer lifelong complications, and if they don't, in some tribes, their bodies are simply abandoned in the wild, and the parents often don't believe that's wrong. And that is how one former cutter claims she was able to cut more than 700 girls in just a day, using only a few razor blades. And when you saw the pain the girls were going through, didn't you ever think it was wrong?
When I was doing that, of course there's pain, and I started to think, this work isn't right, but I kept going because I had to earn money for my family.
Parents paid her for the service, and the community leaders took a percentage too. They are payments based on pain, and the commodity is the future of young girls. But Ms. Samueli's team has a different vision. The local government, church and social workers all work together to change parents' attitudes. And they're made to sign affidavits to make sure their daughters remain safe when they return. As for the girls, they have had to run from the only worlds they have ever known. Many are scared and scarred. But in the backs of their minds is the faintest of hopes that one day they may just be able to finish school. Dan Ashby, CCTV, in Tanzania. Salama may be young, but already she's giving people a reason to sing. Abandoned on the side of a road, she was found surrounded by wild dogs, minutes from being eaten. But police took her to this safe house, and she has made the perfect recovery.
She was only 5 kilograms, but now she's 10. She can eat, she can pray, she can talk, she can even run.
Salama is just 2 years old and she's already survived being abandoned by her parents, left on the side of a road, and also malaria. But her name, Salama, actually means safety because here she has found it. And she hasn't just found safety, but she's brought inspiration with her. Her new home is Mugumu Safe House, a home for girls who have fled genital mutilation. The girls used this as a refuge and decided to name Salama after it. But her strength of spirit has also inspired them and made them grow to love her.
I like taking care of her, as I do all the girls here. When Salama arrived, she didn't have anything. Now Salama lives happily.
The girls say they'll act as if they are Salama's parents. So though her own mother has left her, she now has more than 100 new ones to look after her. Dan Ashby, CCTV, in Tanzania.
This is our small kitchen that was built in December 2014 and catered for nearly 200 people this last December. It's got a table and a little clay stove that she built last week. We have a clay stove here that was the first one built, that is working very well. And then at the moment, we're back to using 3 stones with a big pot here. But the idea is to build in the end 3 clay stoves, which we're already seeing have reduced the amount of firewood. Thank you. So Mama Bibi said that this is a group of girls who regularly help in the garden with the vegetables, with the weeding. They've helped to make the compost. Everybody has learned how to make compost already. So when they go home, they'll be able to do that. We're noticing already that we're saving a lot of money by being able to grow our own things, which is why we're so keen to get our new piece of land, which will be 1 or 2 acres. Right, the girls in the background like to say goodbye and thank you now. So have a great evening. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Albina Francis. I am 20 years old. I have been living in the safe house for 1 year and I studying computer, tailoring and agriculture. And when I live in the safe house, I would like to open the stationery shop. Thank you.
Hello everyone at the Rasset. Thanks for supporting this evening's fundraising event. I am Robbie Samuel. As you know that we are in need of a new kitchen here. In December, we were cooking for nearly 200 people in a very small space. Thank you very much for your support this evening. Every penny you give tonight will go towards the building of a new kitchen. Enjoy your evening. Thank you very much. Bye.
It's the start of the cutting season here in Mara, the time that parents make their young daughters undergo female genital mutilation or FGM. Ready to be married. Some of us are as young as 9. We heard about a safe house in Mugumu that will give us sanctuary. A trickle of girls started arriving at the start of December. That trickle has now turned to a flood. Buses came with more and more girls like us from as far as Tarime and Loliondo, 5 hours away by bus. These arrivals, although welcome, are stretching the resources of the safe house to breaking point. Designed only for 40 girls, in the first week of this year's cutting season, we already have 152. That's more than the total number of girls who came last year. And we are still expecting more. Right now, some of us sleeping 3 to up mattress on the classroom floor. Many of us arrived with just the clothes on our back. The safe house needs to find us food, clothes, toiletries, and sanitary towels. When the cutting season ends, the safe house staff will work hard to reconcile us with our families and get our parents to guarantee not to cut us. But they won't succeed with all girls. Some of us will need to stay in the safe house and learn a trade so we can support ourselves.